So now that we talked some numbers, the second most common question that we receive is, when is this going to happen? And like the budget, the timing conversation has a lot of variables and milestones with complicated ratios of growth, giving, expenses, receipts, something called retained earnings, the age of the church, and all of those things kind of combine. So let me kind of just put this in perspective a little bit of our first Engage Initiative Part 1, right? Bringing someone to church this year and engaging and donating $40.90 per month, right? So how does this fit into the timing of things? So engaging new people will add to our faith family. Like we have a really high percentage of visitor retention, much higher than most churches in our area. So when we want to reach new people, when we bring new people to church, we want to introduce them to Jesus, and we want to tell their stories as often as we can. By engaging with $40.90 per month, this helps something called our retained earnings for the year. Almost in a business sense, that's like profit and loss. So if we have $400,000 donated, and we have $300,000 in expenses, and our retained earnings would be $100,000. So we need to increase our retained earnings each year. 100% of the donations towards the Engage Initiative will go towards our future building. We won't use them for anything else. We have to show the banks an increased percentage of both finances and growth. So how does that fit in with our timeline? Our hope and prayer is that over the next 12 to 18 months, we engage our community, our neighbors, family members in mass, and that God provides the increase. Growing churches, just by example, will baptize on average about one person for every 15 members that come to church on a Sunday. For Impact Church, that would be somewhere annually around 10 to 12 people that would get baptized. We've hit that ratio almost every single year over the past several years. What we want to see, however, and what we're praying to see and trusting God to see, is that number double each year for the next several years. That would mean 2 to 3 baptisms per month, representing 2 to 3 people trusting in Jesus, experiencing life change like they've have never experienced before, and watching Jesus work in their lives. Growing churches also add members to their faith family on a regular basis. And as people come to faith in Jesus, are baptized, and join Impact on mission, we want to be faithful to participating in the mission of God as He grows the church. So if we can grow our faith family, reach our community, faithfully trust God with our finances, we will be in position to approach lending institutions with confidence and success. My personal hope and prayer is that sometime in the mid to late 2025, we would be in position to get a formal approval for a loan like this from a bank. Now, after we received approval, or at least initial approval from a lending institution, we would contract with an architect to develop detailed construction documents, followed by selecting a general contractor and starting the construction process. Now, if all of that worked out perfectly with no hiccups, we'd be moving into a building somewhere in mid to late 2027. Now, I know that seems like a long way off, but the reality is it's just right around the corner. There are a few things that could speed it up, and a few things that could slow it down, both directions. I think the most prudent thing for us to do is to simply engage, to take this seriously, to focus on Jesus, pointing others to Him as often as possible.